Today I'm going to propose a new idea that I think movie theaters and studios need to get on board with if they want to know what the audience really wants. Then I'm going to catch up on some comments, and finally, I've got a few questions to ask you, the viewer. All that and more coming up. Here's a wild idea that I think just might put a lot of Hollywood debates to rest. What if movie studios had the option to ask ticket buyers one simple question? That question is, why did you choose to see this movie? This isn't a pop quiz. It's just a short multiple choice poll with a write-in option at the end if you're feeling spicy. It would take 10 seconds and it could be completely anonymous. Well, as anonymous as anything can be in the year 2025. I mean, what's the worst Hollywood can do with your information? Make a movie about you? And it could choose how studios approach movies forever. Let's say you're buying a ticket for a movie that you've been wanting to see. You can still purchase it at the movie theater or online. That part won't change. And boom, you get hit with a quick poll. It asks, why are you seeing this movie today? Here are some multiple choice answers that could reveal a lot. Because nothing else looked good. I'm a diehard fan of this franchise. I support the director or lead actor or actress. The trailer sold me. I love movies with LGBTQ plus themes. The competition has LGBTQ plus themes. It's an original story, not a reboot or a sequel. I was told this movie needs the big screen treatment. My kids begged me to take them. I needed a movie to help me get lucky on my date. I heard about it through word of mouth. The critics seem to hate it, so I figure I'll probably like it. And that poll would always include other, please specify. So why does this matter? Because right now, studios are flying low and blind. So a movie makes $400 million, and the producers mistakenly think it's because we all flocked to see it, because everybody wanted to see the rainbow-colored sidekick, which in reality, we just tolerated the same way we did with Jar Jar Binks back in 1999. So let's say a movie bags $600 million globally. The producers look at that number and they say, wowzers, people must have really loved the cameos we stuffed in this film. And in fact, most of the audience members thought the cameos were stupid and overstuffed and idiotic. And so all this money poured in, not because of the cameos you thought attracted everybody, but if you had polls that delivered the information as to why each person went to see the movie, the producers would find that 84% of the people went to see it because they wanted to see Jennifer Lawrence in a bikini. Meanwhile, an original movie flops, and suddenly executives are like, well, I guess people hate originality now. I'm not talking to you, Pixar. Come on. In reality, maybe it had bad marketing. Nobody knew about it. Maybe it was up against better movies. Or maybe it just looked like it sucked, and no matter how you marketed it, no one was going to see this piece of crap. I'm talking to you, Elio. So then the lesson for that would have been nobody had the cojones to pull the plug on it in the middle of production. For more on that, check out this older video I just reposted if you want to know about the question nobody actually asked about the movie Elio. No, I realize I'm using a lot of Pixar examples. That's because I believe that Pixar and Disney are the ones who could benefit the most from this polling if they want to get their asses back on track. Remember Moneyball? One of the greatest movies of all time. Brad Pitt's character, Billy Bean, he figures out a statistic that changes the way the game is played and how teams are built. Whereas there I was, not a sports guy, but I'm thinking to myself, I thought they always wanted to get guys on base. But the scouts weren't looking for that. But as mind-numbingly obvious as that would have been so long ago, Billy Bean had to put up a hell of a fight just to get that implemented into his own team. That's changing the game forever. It's just so obvious. It's so obvious. Because the old guard didn't want to let their guard down and try anything new. So we end up getting the same recycled content, and then we get the same recycled complaints, and round and round and round we go.
They just go round and round.
Because they're not doing like the obvious things. It's like Billy Bean. He's like, you got to get men on base. I don't care if he limps. I don't care. You got to get men on base. That's the only way you're going to win. Like, I know realistically, studios and producers, they don't care why we go to their movie, just that we do go to their movie. And yeah, I'm not oblivious to the fact that this could cause a lot of issues we already face at the voting booths every election year. But let's just cross that bridge when we get to it, huh? Producers have it made. They've figured out the game. They know what works and how to play it safe. So no, they're not going to want to do this. But if I could appeal to the decision makers, wouldn't you like to know why the audience chose your competitor's movie over yours? That sounds like something I would want to know if it meant filling my pockets more. Did people show up to your movie because they wanted to support that one line of dialogue that was about representation? Or did people show up because the other movies had an agenda and yours didn't? Or is it because they're loyal to Christopher Nolan and he could direct an episode of House Flippers and his fans would watch that out of solidarity? I just feel like Hollywood is not harnessing the full and awesome power of the media and the technology we have at our fingertips. Like, I take my dog to feeder supply so that they can squeeze her anal glands, and I'm still getting notices in the mail asking how I liked the experience. It's like everybody caught on to let's piss the customer off after we give them a good experience and overwhelm them with polls via text and phone numbers, and except the one place where I think most people would be more than happy to do a poll for. Look at Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, all these sites. People are itching to share their opinion of the movie that they have watched. That's what people want to talk about. And yeah, I get it. Not everybody wants to be surveyed at the movies. That's why it should be 100% optional. A skip button. No pressure, no follow-up. Just be on your way and hope you enjoy the movie. Speaking of pressing buttons, you know what to do. I mean, we all press no thanks when we're asked to leave a tip at Starbucks, right? All they did was just pour overpriced liquid into a cup and handed it over the counter. No, they didn't even do that. They just left it on the counter and then they turned around and walked away without even saying, "Thank you, Mr. Toy," or "Hey, you're looking fine today, Mr. Toy." If you're a barista, I'm sure you're great. No offense, just get a different job. But for the people who do answer these polls, this is a goldmine of insight for the studios. This is the kind of poll that in real time can help answer the question, do people really care about representation? Are moviegoers really burned out on sequels, or are they just burned out on bad ones? Was this movie really a hit because it was good, or because there were just no other options? Like, I want Universal to know that I don't hate dinosaurs. I hate your last couple of movies, but I don't hate dinosaurs. So keep giving us dinosaurs, just make it better. This kind of data can change the conversation around box office numbers. Studios spend stupid amounts of money to do like research demographics. They use algorithms thinking that they're predicting what we want. Those are not playing in their favor, and they're not playing in our favor. Everybody loses because of the way the producers are picking their movies now. Everybody is losing. People are so mad with Hollywood right now that some change has to be initiated. Like, if it doesn't work, right? Anyway, audiences should be able to follow up on their poll after the movie. That way they could say whether or not they got what they were looking for. For instance, if you put down that you went to this movie because you wanted great action scenes, well, after the movie, you can then say whether you got what you wanted or not. After all, the proof of purchase is already built into that feedback. And Rotten Tomatoes really ought to jump on this. They can keep non-verified audience reviews and votes locked out for the duration of the film's theatrical runtime. In a world where studios are constantly trying to figure out what audiences want, why not just ask us? A tiny optional poll at checkout. It would be shorter than exiting Costco because no one's going to be standing there going over your itemized receipt. No algorithms, no guesses, just the truth. Because once we know why people are showing up, maybe, just maybe, Hollywood will stop throwing darts in the dark and start making movies again that actually hit. And hey, if people say I just want to watch a movie where stuff blows up, well, at least that gives Michael Bay more job security. But they never stop to ask us directly, why this movie? All right, let's head on over to the comments. Oh, hi. Speaking of Patreon, I have one. And it would be really great if you would become a patron or donate some money. It could help keep this channel up and running, and there's something in it for you. Once I've earned a few donations, I will randomly choose a donator to come onto this channel to roast the critics who hate your favorite movie. And if you don't have money to give, I get that. Please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by Halloween. Well, I better continue on my run. I'll see you on Patreon. I'm running out of ideas to get you to donate. I'm running out of food for my kids, if you care. I apologize, it's been several minutes since I read through my comments. I did a K-pop video where I reviewed the movie, and that video is called A Christian Dad's Takedown, pun intended, of K-pop Demon Hunters. Merlin Zimmerman 446 was kind enough to say, dude, I was listening for stupid-ass Christian demagoguery because I'm pretty much an anti-stupid-ass Christian demagogueryist, but I was glad not to hear it. Well, thank you, Merlin. He goes on, a couple of commenters seem to be a bit hypersensitive to the very mention of Christianity when you talk about a Korean writer film about fantasy and myth. However, it does not appear to me that you were all Christian-y about it. People can think you're an idiot. Let them. Nah, trust me, there are quite a few. He says, I get that when I react to K-pop music on my channel too. Just don't become an actual a-hole when talking about other things, or go ahead, whatever. Yeah, hey, I appreciate that. That is very reminiscent of the advice my father gave me the day I graduated from college. He goes on, as a committed K-pop fan, thank you for not being an idiot in your review of the movie. I'm actually anticipating repeated trips to the theater once it opens on a big screen with big speakers. I think it's gonna be golden. I mean, it is. You, sir, are going to have a great time. Guffy Pandio 9 the 13 says, did you know that Jinu is the father of Rumi? Would that be a twist? That would be going into like Back to the Future territory. Takim 9547 says, did you say Powder Puff Girls? I did. I didn't edit it out. Mostly because I didn't want to take the time to research, like type it in IMDb to see what it's actually called. I just left it in. All right, I did another video about Hollywood's music obsession is out of control. Here's what we need instead. I recommend you check that out. Curtis Michael 4703 says, great sentiment, but the movies you're suggesting Hollywood should make don't make money at the box office. It's twofold, right? But look at Titanic. People lined up to see that. Go see real life stories. You have to take your star power and put them behind credible stories. There's so many things that can be done to convince people to go see much better movies. The other side is we as audiences, we need to continue to go and support those movies. I'm so happy that a lot of people went to see F1 this summer and loved it. It is a great movie. Like, we want more movies like that, right? So, stepping off my soapbox here. All right, so I have a couple of questions for you watching this video. So this video was all about polls, and I want to turn it around, and I want to ask you, the viewer, I want you to be honest with me. You know, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, why haven't you? Is this the way I look, the way I dress? Like, what's stopping you from subscribing to this channel? I want to reach 1,000 subscribers by Halloween. That is my goal. I would also like to see at least one person become a donor through Patreon. Tell me how can I help me, right? Help you. Here is my art. Now, tell me what is wrong with it. Why are you not subscribed? I want to know your opinion. Unlike Hollywood, I actually care. I read the comments. I would love to take any advice that you have. For me to get this YouTube channel off the ground, I really want to see this thing take off. I want to give you what you want. So, with all that being said, thanks for hanging out with me. Give some thought as to what would make this channel better for you. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Check out some really awesome movies, and I'll see you in the next video.